A rainy night in Sydney. The body of taxi driver Thomas Green was discovered in his car in a deserted alley. The victim was found with multiple fatal stab wounds to the chest and neck, leaving a pool of blood on the driver's seat. Initially, the police suspected a robbery, but Green's wallet and phone were left untouched, quickly ruling out that theory. Thomas Green, 45, was known as a tough character who often had disputes with those around him. Recently, he had a heated argument with his neighbor, Michael Brown, over parking issues. However, when questioned by the police, Michael provided a solid alibi, leaving the investigation at a standstill. It seemed all leads had dried up until an unexpected discovery turned the investigation around. A sanitation worker found a blood-stained black jacket discarded in a trash bin near the Parramatta River, not far from the crime scene. The jacket was soaked with blood and covered in mud, indicating it had been hastily discarded. When tested, the blood on the jacket matched the DNA of the victim, Thomas Green. What was even more intriguing was a bus ticket found in the pocket of the jacket, smeared with water, but bearing a date and time close to when the murder occurred. This ticket led the police to trace a passenger who had taken the bus on the night of the crime. Footage from the bus's onboard camera showed a man wearing a similar jacket, looking anxious and hurried. The investigation quickly zeroed in on David Clark, an old friend of Thomas Green. David was facing mounting debts after the collapse of his small business. According to family members, David had repeatedly sought help from Thomas but was coldly refused. The feeling of betrayal and humiliation had pushed him to the edge. When summoned by the police, David Clark initially denied any involvement. However, when confronted with the evidence of the blood-stained jacket and the bus ticket, he began to falter. After hours of intense interrogation, David finally confessed that in a moment of rage and desperation, he had attacked his old friend, believing he had no other way out. David admitted that he initially only wanted to threaten Thomas into lending him money, but the tension escalated beyond his control. After committing the crime, in a panic, he discarded the bloodied jacket into the riverbank trash bin, hoping to erase any trace. However, that very jacket became the crucial piece of evidence that sealed his fate. The case ended with a life sentence for David Clark, but it left behind much to ponder. When life pushes someone to the brink, can despair drive them to commit acts of violence they never imagined themselves capable of? Perhaps it is the pressures of modern society that ultimately pushed David to this tragic breaking point.